We are now in chapter 3. In this chapter 3, we have to discuss about these accident studies. In the previous classes, we discussed about different studies, parking studies, stop and delay studies, origin and destination studies, and side distance surveys. In all those surveys, it is the major part. Why? Because the total construction will be depends upon these accident studies. That means if the area is heavily accident prone area, that means the project has to be changed its direction, so that we need to have to do these accident studies in a different areas where there should be a high probable risk areas. First of all, what is the accident study? How we need to do these accident studies for road purpose? What are the accident studies? We have to discuss a one by one point. Totally, we are having 6 studies here. A road accidents can't be totally prevented, but suitable traffic engineering and management measures, the accident rate can be decreases considerably. The various objectives of the accident studies may be listed as. That means the total road accidents cannot be totally prevented. That means the total accidents మనకి రోడ్డు మీద ఏవైతే యాక్సిడెంట్స్ జరుగుతున్నాయో వాటి మొత్తాన్ని మనం తగ్గించలేము. వాటిలో ఒక సమ్ అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ పర్సంటేజ్ షుడ్ బి మినిమైజ్డ్ బై స్టడీయింగ్ దీస్ రోడ్ యాక్సిడెంట్స్ and their patterns and what are the causes. First of all, what are those? Thus, to study the causes of accidents, suggest corrective treatment and potential locations. That means to study the causes of accident. What is the cause? There are different causes for a particular problem. Definitely in these accident studies we are having different problem. Is there is a driver's fault? That means if the driver is in drunken or any mind maturity is not there for the driver, particularly if the road is not aligned properly. Is there any monsoon seasons? Likely we are having different causes. First of all, we need to identify what is the main root cause for the particular accidents. Those things we need to identify by different case studies. That means we have to observe the particular location. In that particular location, is there any identities? That means identities or any observers are observed particular location point while the accident was causing. All those things we need to take care, and we have to locate a particular root cause for that accidents, and we need to take care some preventive and precautionary measures. Second one we have to is the evaluation the existing. That means to evaluate the existing. What is the existing cause for the particular accident? So we need to evaluate the root causes and other things also. In some of the cases there is a some animal prone areas. That means whenever the road is constructed in a hilly areas and forest areas, definitely there will be a movement of these animals on the roads itself, so that if the driver is suddenly applying a particular brakes to the vehicle, so that the vehicle has to be a chance to get an accident with the any animals. That means elephants or buffaloes or whatever it may be. Due to those also we have to face some amount of accidents, so that we need to locate what is the evaluation process and how we need to eliminate those kind of accidents simply by constructing a fence in around the road. Those will eliminates the these kind of accidents. Next one, to support proposed designs. That means proposed designs means if there is a any structural fault in the road itself, automatically those will be also a particular cause for the accidents. Suppose constructional faults means normally in the previous cases we observed and we have encountered a lot of designs. That means these curves, we are having these horizontal curves, vertical curves. Next one we are having these super elevations, and next one frictional values, All those things are these structural parameters for the designing of a particular road, so that if there is any faulty design or if there is any mismatch of these values or any alignment is properly not designed, all those things could be evaluation of this particular accident, so that we have to do some amount of focus on those values also, so that those values will be also responsible for the causing of accidents. Next one, to carry out studies before and after the improvement. That means before and after the improvement. That means whenever there is a cause of accidents, so that we need to do some kind of investigation. Is there any preliminary accidents occurred on a particular space, or how many number of accidents occurred per a month, how many accidents occurred per a year, so that we have to take care at a particular position, so that we need to decrease the quantity of accidents occurring in a particular zone. So that is there any observatives, some kind of boards we need to mention there, so that there is a accident prone area, you need to move with a minimum speed. There is a wild area, you have to face a huge amount of animals, so that you need to minimize your speed or simply divert your route in a particular zones. That means normally animals are moving on a particular area for their drinking purpose and eating purpose, so that normally there the animals are moving a particular time period, so that in that particular time period we won't allow a kind of vehicles onto the road. Those also decreases the accidents. Next one, the make of financial computations and give economic justifications for the improvement of suggestions by the traffic engineer. That means traffic engineers has to give better computations. That means we have to use any other bridges or other. That means if there is any accidents occurring in a particular wildly area, so that we need to take this help of bridges, so that the animals will be moved in the animals will be moved below the bridge and the vehicles will pass on the bridge, so that there will be no chance of accidents. If there is any erosion or if there is any faulty design, so that we need to rectify the designs by using these traffic engineers or any other site engineers. Those will eliminate these accidents. Next one, what are the main causes? All those are the main studies. That means whenever we are observing a particular kinds of accidents, so that we have to choose what kind of accident it was, what is the main root cause of the accidents, how to eliminate those kind of accidents. All those are different points. First, next one is the what are the different causes of the accidents. First one is the road users. Normally these road users are the different kinds of users we are having: two wheelers, four wheelers, heavy span vehicles, and pedestrians. That means walkers. All those are the road users. In those, there is a some amount of mismatch of communication between the road users. Suppose there is a two wheeler vehicle is simply going on a particular route, so that he doesn't blow his horn while he was overtaking a particular vehicle, so that it also the one amount of mismatch, so that it also comes under the road users. Next one is the vehicles. That means if there is a space on a particular area, in those particular space or road, the vehicle has to move with a particular velocity, so that the vehicle is not maintaining a speed, so that it also leads to a severe accidents. So that it is a small example. Likely we are having a different causes on vehicles, so that we need to understand by observing a particular space. That means space of accident occurring. Next one we are having is the road and its conditions. It is a major issue we are facing in our country. That means why? Because India is having a huge amount of population, around 130 crores we are having. In those 130 crores, a huge amount of population are majorly using these two wheelers and four wheelers for different purposes, so that according to the purpose we need to construct. In foreign countries and others, we are having a wonderful road patterns. Why? Because they are having a less quantity of the people and definite use of the structure. That means definite use means they are using a different roads for different purposes. Normally they constructing a particular road for walking purpose, particular road for one wheelers or two wheelers, and the next they have definite routes for load carrying vehicles likely. But in our India there is a mixed traffic. All the traffics will be flow in a single pattern of usage, so that there may be a huge collapse or mixing of interchanging of different routes, so that it is the main cause for the causing of accidents. Road and its conditions, that means in normally we are having a different climatic seasons. For suppose in June to, that means May, June to September, we are having this rainy season. In those rainy seasons we have to face a huge amount of monsoon period, so that in those monsoon areas we have to face a little bit greater than the normal conditions of rainfall, so that due to this rainfall also there may be a some variation in the soil strata. Due to this soil strata variation we have to face a huge amount of skidding and skipping of vehicles while they moving on a particular route. It is the main cause. And the second one is in the winter seasons, that means November to February. In this November to February we are having some amount of little bit of moisture in the air itself, not in the earth level. Only earth level we are facing in rainy season. But in case of air, that means in the form of fog or smog, పొగమంచు అంటాం మనం. ఈ యొక్క పొగమంచు అనేది మనకి ఈ యొక్క నవంబర్ నుంచి ఫిబ్రవరి వరకు అట్మాస్ఫియర్లో హ్యూజ్ క్వాంటిటీలో ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి we have to face a some amount of sight problem to the observers or drivers, so that there may be a chance of collapsing. That means face to face collisions of vehicles occurs due to this on dampness of their eyes due to this fog and other conditions. All those are comes under this environmental factors. That means environment is associated with water, wind and other soil parameters, so that all those are comes under with environmental factors. Next one we are having is other causes like incorrect signs. That means whenever we have to place a particular signboard on a proper place of a road, if we doesn't provide a proper signboard on a particular place, means it also leads to a miscommunication to the driver and other road users, so that it also leads to a huge amount of accidents. And next one is the signals. That means whenever we are having a different crossings at proper positions of a city or town, so that we need to use these signal boards. That means we have to stop a certain quantity of vehicles for a 2 to 3 minutes of span. After that we need to release those vehicles on a proper way, so that it will leads to a proper traffic system. Otherwise we have to face a clumsy or mixed traffic system. It also leads to a huge quantity of traffic jams on that particular area, so that we have to use the signal system and manpower system to control the traffic. It also leads to a causing of accidents. Next one is the gate of level crossings. That means normally in our India there may be a different kinds of roads. That means in some of the villages and other conditions we have to use these level crossings. That means there is a combination of roadway and railway at a particular position, or any other definite two ways. Normally roadway is associated with now one pattern and railway associated with another pattern, so that if there is any combination of these roadways, railways, or roadways, waterways, or roadway and another way of traveling, so that we need to use these level crossings to stop a particular vehicles for a period of time. After the vehicle is moving we need to release the crossings, so that there may be a chance of causing accidents if there is no proper utilization of these level crossings. Some of the persons has to move to their destination points within that time, so that they need to jump these level crossings on time, so that there may be a chance of occurring these accidents due to the rapid movement at level crossings. It also leads to cause the accidents. Next one is the badly located authorized boards. That means authorized boards, these are also called advertisement boards. These are also called as flexi boards. Due to these flexi boards also in definite seasons like rainy seasons and some summer seasons, we are having a huge quantity of wind is flowing in the environment. So that due to this wind is flowing with a high speeds, automatically these flexi boards have to damage, and those damaged flexi boards also lead to cause an accident. So that authorized boards having also responsibility, and they need to have some proper maintenance by the private authorities. So that why? Because these authorized boards are not responsible to the government, only some private persons are dealing these authorized boards. So that there may be some private persons involvement to control these authorized boards accidents. These are the main causes and root for the causing of accidents. Next one, we need to study what is the basic root causes. First one, here we are choosing these road users and different study patterns. Those things we need to study in deep manner. That means till now we are having discussed the topic with our own knowledge. So that we need to study some amount of technical terms. First one is the road user. What is the disadvantage with the road user while causing an accident? That means the excessive speed and rash driving, violation of the traffic rules, failure traffic situation, or sign or signal is inadequate time, carelessness, fatigue, alcohol, sleep. All those are shows a particular cause to the particular accident. That means here we are having a different causes. First one we are having is the excessive speed. That means normally for different kinds of roads we are having different speed limits. Likely expressways is having 120 kmph and national highways having 80 to 100 kmph. Likely village roads having a 20 to 40 kmph. So that there may be a definite speed limit for the particular road. We need to go through that speed limit only. If you excess the speed limit, means automatically there may be a chance of getting accidents. Why? Because there in few persons are violating these rules, remaining all persons are simply following the rules. There may be a change in the speed pattern for vehicle to vehicle. Automatically due to this change in the vehicle pattern of the speed, automatically leads to a accidents. Next one is the rash driving. Also in some of the cases the young people are driving their vehicles with a rash. That means they need to show their enthusiasm in the form of the driving vehicle, so that they need to have to use this vehicle with a rash speed, so that it also leads to accidents by simply skidding whenever they are applying a brake while they are in a rash driving. Next one is the violation of the traffic rules. That means violation means there is a signal is there. That means red signal is there. Simply we need to stop our vehicle. After the brightening of green signal, we need to move. Some of the persons didn't bother about those signal signboards. Simply they are moving. Automatically on the other way, vehicles are coming with a huge amount of speed, so that there may be a chance to collide two vehicles. Automatically those also leads to accidents. Next one, failure to a pervasive traffic situation or sign or signal adequate time. That means adequate time means whenever we are having these crossing systems or signal system, they are simply moving 5 to 10 seconds before the light is blowing. Automatically those also leads to these kind of accidents. Next one is a carelessness. Sometimes they didn't care how much amount of speed they are going. Automatically those also leads to these accidents. Next one, fatigue. Sometimes we are having our vehicle failures in the time of in the form of our tires and other things. Those also leads to accidents. And major content of the accidents are occurring due to this alcohol consumption and improper sleeping of the driver. That means the driver has to take a proper rest before going to drive a particular vehicle. That means normally in these load carrying vehicles in the national highways and other highways, we are having these load carrying vehicles are moving a huge quantity to transfer the loads from one place to another place, so that the driver has to maintain a proper rest to their bodies. Why? Because if he is simply moving their vehicles for hours to hours, that means in a 24-hour span, simply he needs to take 8 to 10 hours sleep, then its mind will be working as fast as possible, otherwise his mind will be drying and automatically there may be chance of accidents. Next one, alcohol consumption. In this alcohol consumption also there may be a severe effect to the brain. Automatically the brain is not properly functioning, and he doesn't observe the vehicles while they overtaking, or another case of studies, all those leads to accidents. These are the main causes while we are having a association with these road users. That means drivers or movers, whatever it may be, whenever we have to face these road problems with these road users. Next one we are having is the vehicle. The vehicle is the major content of the accident. That maybe if there is a simply two persons are moving on a particular road, there may be a clash between the two persons, there may be no chance of accident. Why? Because they are simply moving with a normal speed. If there is clash also, there may be some small damage also occurs between the persons. Other in case of vehicles, the vehicles having a capacity of moving with hundreds and 150 kilometers per hour, so that there may be flowing of huge amount of velocity. Those velocities also leads to a severe damage. If there is a increase on the speed, automatically there may be a increase in the damage also. Those things we need to mind it. The vehicle means automatically some of the few vehicles having less quantity of the weight, few vehicles having huge quantity of the weights. The velocity is associated with the weight. Why? Because velocity is directly proportional to mass. V equal to meter per second. V is directly proportional to mass and indirectly proportional to speed, so that we need to mind the velocity and speed relationships. Next one, we are having the failure of brakes. In some cases there may be a failure of brakes to the bikes and other four-wheelers or any other. We have to observe for each and every trip of a particular vehicle. Before going to each and every trip, we need to observe what is the condition of our vehicle. Is there any decrement of air in our tires or any failure in our system? All those brakes are working properly or not? Those things also we have to check while we are starting a particular quantity of journey. Next one is a steering system. That means in cars and bikes we are having these steerings. Bikes we are having normally, and cars we are majorly steering system. If there is any blockage of the steering system, automatically there will be no movement with our front wheels. Automatically these also leads to gets accidents. Next one is a tire burst. This is the major that means a 20 to 30% of accidents are occurring due to this tire burstings. That means we are applying a huge quantity of air, and we won't checking the how much amount of air pressure will be lying on a particular tire. Those things we have to mind. That means whenever we are traveling with a particular vehicle, so that each vehicle has to bear some amount of air quality, that means air pressure in the tires, so that we have to observe the how much amount of pressure is in our tire, is it sufficient or not. All those things we need to check. Next one is a lightning system. That means lightning system means in the front of the part of our vehicle having this lightning system. Whenever we are moving in a particular route, if there is no street lights or any other, automatically we have to on our front front lights and we have to move. Otherwise there may be a colliding of vehicles due to improper vision to the drivers. Next one is the road condition. What is the road condition? Simply skidding of the road surface due to improper friction. That means we have to maintain the f value equal to 0.15 for normal road or any other roads in a particular design itself. Why? Because if there is a friction means automatically brakes will be applying to the particular vehicle. There may be sudden stopping or moving of vehicles due to this frictional value. Why? Because friction is directly proportional proportion to this accident. That means if the friction is no, automatically if we apply the brakes there will be no stopping of vehicles. After the applying of the brake also the vehicle simply moves for a particular span, so that those also leads to accident, improper judgment of our braking system. Next one we are having is the potholes. That means due to poor construction designs of the roads. In rainy seasons, we are observing these potholes. That means simply in few places there is no proper densification of the roads by rollers. Automatically, those things leads to this potholes formation in rainy season. We need to arrest those pothole formation. Why? Because if there is pothole means automatically speed of the vehicles may be decreases and there may be a chance of these accidents. That is a major conditions for the roads. Next one is a road designs. What is a road design? Defective geometric design. That means geometric design means we have previously observed different kinds of designs like vertical curves, horizontal curves, terrains. All those are leads to this geometric design. That means all those are comes with this geometric design like inadequate side distances, inadequate width of the shoulders. That means side distance means whenever the vehicle wants to overtake a particular vehicle, another vehicle, automatically we need to have this side distance phenomena. Side distance equal to d1 plus d2 plus d3 like we are having. So that those things we need to observe side distance. Next one, inadequate width of the shoulders. That means normal road we have to lay with a proper dimensions. That means for one lane road we have to maintain 3.75 meters. For two lane roads we need to have 7.75 meters. Likely we are having different lengths for different roads. For n number of lanes we need to multiply with n into 3.5. Likely we have to use these lengths and widths at a particular positions. In case of there is a turning, automatically we need to enlarge our roads to counteract these accidents. Those are comes under this road designs. Next one is the improper curve design. That means whenever there is a curve means automatically we need to have to maintain a proper amount of road with extra distance. And next one, improper traffic control devices and improper lightning systems. That means the lightning system is very much useful to control these accidents, particularly in hilly areas. In the morning times also some of the hilly areas has having no light propagation due to their huge quantity of hill is obstructing the lightning phenomena, so that they have to use these street lights and other solar light systems to lightening the lamps in a particular areas. Next one we are having these environmental factors. As previously we discussed that environment means we are having different climatic seasons. Those climatic seasons have unfavorable weather conditions to the particular roads. Those are likely mist, snow, smoke and heavy rainfall which is resist the normal visibility and makes the driving unsafe. All those things already previously we discussed. In the rainy season automatically there may be a huge amount of stacking of rainwater on the particular surface, so that there may be some amount of obstruction to the road users. Or with the flow of the water also some of the vehicles will flowing in a particular areas, so that those also leads to accidents and simply deaths also. Next, other causes of the accident studies are improper location of advertisement boards. That means improper location of advertisement boards, gate levels, crossings not closed whenever required, etc. Improper location means if there is a particular curvy areas, in those curvy areas we won't have to provide these proper signboards. That means in some of the areas we have to use these signboards and advertisement boards. Those two having different. Signboards means normally these signboards are used to educate a particular road user. In front of a 200 meters there is a obstruction, in front of 100 meters there may be a speed breaker, in front of a 50 meters there may be a curve. Likely these signboards are used to educate a particular road users to understand the in front traffic conditions, so that these may be useful. In some of the cases we are having advertisement boards. That means the flexes and hoardings are fixed on a particular road surfaces. That means with the help of these girders and steel columns, they are simply using these steel columns and girders to locate these advertisement boards for different agencies like different agency, I won't have to use their names. Different agencies having different advertisement boards, so that those are using, those also causes these stopping side distances obstruction, those leads to cause these accidents. Next one is the grade level crossings. That means previously we are observed, that means whenever there is a intersection of these roadways and railways or roadways with waterways, automatically we have to use these level crossings, and improper maintenance of these level crossings also leads to accidents. All those are the causes of roads accidents. Next one, what is the accident study? How we have to study these accidents? Previously we are observing the different causes for occurring a specified road accidents, but after the conduction, after the accident is over, we need to study what are the basic routes and what are the preliminary measures to arrest those accidents. If we notice a particular point, automatically those points will be rectified by the higher authorities of these national highways and others to encounter the accidents. That means encounter means not to abstract simply. First one, we have to use these collision diagrams, and different studies we are having. What is a collision diagram? That means collision diagram means collision diagrams are used to display and identify a similar accident patterns. That means if there is a one-way road, so that in the one-way road, how many types of collisions will have to occur. So that by using if there is a two-wheeler, so that if we have a two-wheelers on a one-way line, there may be how many chances to occur accidents with the two-wheelers, and two-wheeler to four-wheeler, how many chances, two-wheeler to large span vehicles, so that in a different patterns they need to draw different flow lines. By using these flow lines, they have to understand these collision diagrams like others. They provide information on the particular type of a road, number of accidents, including conditions such as time of a day. That means on which time major content of the or major quantity of the accidents are occurring on a particular road. That means day of a week. Next one, that means on which day. That why? Because we are studying these days means normally in a few days of a week we are having this huge quantity of traffic flowing. But definitely in metropolitan cities we are having a huge quantity of traffic flowing in Friday to Sunday night. That means in the Friday night we are having their leaves, fruit Saturday and Sunday, so that if from Friday night to Sunday night they are having a huge quantity of traffic flowing in these metropolitan cities, so that this also leads to a definite accidents in those particular days. After Monday afternoon to Friday afternoon, there may be a small quantity of flowing of vehicles. Why? Because there may be working hours to the huge quantity of people, so that the huge quantity of people are lying in their working places. There may be no flow of particular areas. Next one, climatic conditions. In the previous classes also, we discussed about these climatic conditions. In the rainy seasons and winter seasons, we are having this smog and water effects on particular road surface and hilly areas, so that this also leads to collision diagrams. And next one is the pavement conditions. That means pavement condition. In winter seasons, we are having a particular temperature of pavement. That means normally pavements means whenever there is a road surface, the road surface will be directly affected by these sun's rays. That means sun rays are directly fall onto the road surface. Normally in summer season, we are having a huge amount of temperature up to 45 degrees to 50 degrees below 50 degrees and above 45 degrees we have to face this temperature, so that the top layer of the road should be in the color of black. Normally major content of the roads are colored with this black layer. Why? Because of we are using this tar, automatically tar is in the black color, so that the major content of the road is in black color, so that the black color will absorb more quantity of heat in summer season, so that a huge quantity of accidents were associated with the summer season in the form of these tire blasts. Why? Because the road is having some quantity of temperature, automatically the temperature will be passes to the tires, and automatically the amount of air in the tire will be expanded. Automatically there may be some amount of blastings of tires. Due to those tire blastings, a huge quantity of accidents are occurring in a summer seasons. That is a one cause of atmosphere. And next one is in winter seasons we are having these smog problems. That means there may be no vision to the drivers whatever the vehicle is coming, so that in those conditions also there may be having huge quantity of accident in winter seasons. That is the one cause in winter. And next one we are having is the rainy seasons. In the rainy seasons there may be huge amount of skidding or skipping of vehicles due to entrainment of water on the road surfaces and moisture level and other conditions maintained in a particular rainy seasons. Those all leads to this pavement rupture and pavement changing. Next one we are having is the other information critical to determine the causes of safety problem. That means is there any irrelevant terms? That means in some of the cases we are having a particularly fall of these trees. That means మనకి కొన్ని ప్రాంతాల్లో చెట్లు మొత్తం పడిపోతూ ఉంటాయి, ఆర్ ఎనీ అదర్ particular quantity of these animals. Also we have to face this quantity of accidents. Also similarly there may be some amount of simply skipping of some items. Normally whenever we are having journey with our daily ways, that means daily human purpose, so that there may be some amount of skipping of vehicles or any other. That means normally huge amount of these road construction materials are traveling on a particular road surface, so that while their traveling is on, automatically some amount of sand or aggregates will be falling onto the road, so that those also leads to some amount of accidents. Those also will have some amount of tendency to occur a particular accidents. Next one, accidents reports should be organized by year of occurring and accident type of analysis period. That means year of occurrence, on which year we are having a huge quantity of accident, so that in that year what is the temperature conditions, what is the climatic conditions, what is the total quantity of drunken drive cases. All those leads to study our accident causes. Next one is the accidents that occurred after the significant changes in highway or local land use should be included. That means after the particular year is over, in that particular year we are having a huge quantity of accidents, so that the government has to take some quantity of precautionary measures to decrease the accidents, so that after 2008 or 9 we are having a particular quantity of accident, so that the government take a proper actions to improve the roads and enlightening the lighting. That means street lightings and checking proper road widths and side capes also constructed, so that there may be no entrainment of water into the roads due to enlarging the side drains and enrichment of these capes, so that there may be a better chance to prevent these accident studies. Next one, what is the different accident studies we are having, how to prevent these accidents. That means a construction of collision diagrams. Previously we discussed different patterns for these collision diagrams. Sketch the collision diagram for either in the intersection of a roadway section or standard form of the shown page. That means major content of the accidents are occurring at the particular crossings, so that at the particular crossings we need to have some intersection diagrams, so that at which part of the crossings we have to face these major accidents, so that we have to use different markings like zebra crossings and other lightning systems. All those leads to educate a particular driver, and those will causes a less quantity of accidents also. That means simply sketching a collision diagrams on the particular roads itself. Next one is the sketch needs to be a scale. That means scale means the total sketch we need to have to draw in a particular paper. First of all, after the paper study is over, we need to implement those studies on the road, so that we need to have some amount of scale with respect to proper length. That means the length equal to 1 kilometer. Those 1 kilometer we want to have to mention in a particular paper, so that for 1 kilometer length we need to use the 10 centimeters or 10 inches in the form of the small scales we have to maintain. All those scales you studied in our engineering drawing itself. So you have to use your engineering drawing knowledge in the form of these scales and others while you are drawing a particular quantity of drawings. That means you are drawing a particular diagrams or others. Next one, show the path of each vehicle involved in the particular accidents with adequate room of information. That means on that particular road or particular crossings, we need to have to form a lines. That means each vehicle is forming a particular line of way, so that that particular X vehicle is following on a particular line, Y vehicle is following on a particular line, so that there may be how many number of colliding systems. All those things we need to observe. And place a north arrow for our orientation and other descriptive information. That means placing north arrow. Whenever we are drawing a particular diagram, we need to show the direction. That means on which direction the area is having, so that we need to locate a particular drawing, whether it may be a building planning or any other drawing. We have to use this north direction. That means on which direction the road is having, so that the north direction will helps us to locate at a particular points with respect to these areas. Next one, we are having in those also, location is identification, period of analysis, and label the roads. That means location, that means whether it is a which location, either it is a Bradipet or Koridabadu or Jinnah Tower or Lodge Center or North Center or bus stand. We need to locate a particular position of the roads. That means whatever the cross we have to study, we need to locate by using their crossing names. Next one, period of analysis. This also having importance. That means in a particular period of times we are having a huge quantity of time, so that we have to give the particular location of period of analysis. Next one, we need to have this label of the roads. That means on which side, whether it is a right side or left side, also we need to give with respect to these labels. All those are these accident studies.